Hello, beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. Woo! Starlight can't spin around, but I do love doing my spin around. But I'm in my chair right now, so I'll need to find some hiking place to go and make a video where I'm walking around. But right now, anyway, I love you all, and I hope you're getting out in nature like Starlight is. And whoopsie, Starlight's got to raise this up a little bit more. I had to level it out a little bit. So if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. And thank you to all of you who are new subscribers to my YouTube channel. Woohoo! Thank you! So I appreciate all of you, and also the ones that have been here holding down the fort for Starlight, loving and supporting her. Thank you all. Woo! So, I hope you're being kind to yourself and not being too hard on yourself or others. So remember that, is that a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff like yourself. So you got to first love yourself before you can love other people the correct way, right? So it starts within yourself, and then you can actually start learning to love other people and, not holding grudges and forgiving them, because no one's perfect, right? I haven't met a perfect person out here yet. So anyway, I love you so much, and thank you for all of you who watch my videos, give me thumbs up, who share my videos, leave a message down below. And so thank you to all of you. And if you want to send Starlight a comment or a message, or maybe you want to reach out to her and talk to her, you can on my Instagram, and I will have the information here. On my YouTube channel you can reach me on Instagram. Sorry about this airplane. And that is at 1995 Starlight, or you can reach out to me on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So plus, not only that, if you want to send love donations to Starlight, you can through my Cash App, and this is Starlight's birthday month. So if anybody would love to send any love donations to Starlight for her birthday and say thank you, Starlight, for all the work that you do and the sacrifices that you've done to be where you are to help other people out, because this wasn't easy to get to where I am. This was very hard to get to where I am, and to be out here serving like the way the universe has guided me to do. So anyway, besides that, you could send love donations through my Cash App, and I will have that information here. Bing! There it is. Now today, you might be one of those people. So the title, sometimes I say the title is, and then I have to change the title, so don't mind that too much. But the title of this is Many Are Called, But Few Are Chosen. So, that comes from the Bible, is that there are many are called. The universe, God has called Starlight. I've been called. I signed up for this. Believe it or not, I signed up for this. I just recently met a couple, and she was in shock because they are actually living on the street, and I was letting her know that I wanted this. I manifested this, and it's just like, can't believe it. You want to live in your car? Well, so many are called, but few are chosen. So there's a lot of people that are called, but they might not have been ready, to take that phone call, to answer. And, because this world that we're living in, is a lot of people. I just talked to a man yesterday, and I've met lots of people like this in the world, in the United States at least, is where there's people, they get upset because of the way things are in the world, and they blame God, and they get upset with God. Well, it's not God doing this stuff. you know, because if the real God of this world is not the God of this world right now that is running things, is not God like most people think. So a lot of people blame God for all this stuff, wondering how come God's letting this happen, that happen. It's not God doing all that. And it says we're not fighting against flesh or blood. So a lot of people, they get mad at other people because this happened, that happened, this happened, you know, all over, you know. So you might, with that being said, is that the devil is running this world. The devil is the one, you know, running the president. You know, it's not the president. It's not Donald Trump. It's not the people behind, you know, Donald Trump. You know, it's not the people that we're against. It's a principalities. It's, you know, and I believe it's a alien force, a dark alien force. I'm definitely convinced. Where do you think the technology came from? I know a lot of people are saying people. Well, you know, they can be used to bring the technology out here. So are we really alone? But anyway, many are called, but few are chosen. Starlight is one of the chosen ones. I am a light worker. Now, I've actually, a long time ago when I started my YouTube channel, there was this lady that I met through a family, and I'll tell you what I knew. I'm like, oh no, I can't believe what happened. But there's times that, you know, people get involved with people, like in relationships, and they got bad company, and, you know, they're attracted to that kind of company. Hang on, there's another. That's low. They've been flying over here a lot. So it's amazing when I meet people and then I'm like, you guys get along great, don't you? There's a reason for that, you know, is that they have something in common. And it's said many times we'll know somebody that's in a relationship with somebody that might have a family, you know. Of course they have a family, but they might have gotten attracted to a girl or a guy and ended up getting married to that person. But, you know, you really got to pay attention to what their family is like, you know, and that is what you got to watch out for, is that there's people out there, they think it's funny, you know, oh, you're one of the chosen ones, Starlight, ha 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 ha. I've actually had that happen to me right after I started a YouTube channel. I was so excited, not knowing that I wasn't really supposed to tell anybody, and bam, I'll tell you what, that dark force out there that I'm telling you about was right on my tail end, right when I started, you know, right when I announced that I was making, you know, I just started making videos on YouTube. So I've had many people that have met me on this journey, and they know, yes, you are one of the chosen ones, Starlight. Yeah, you know, what you described, things that you said, you know, what you're doing. Yeah, you are definitely one of the chosen ones. And chosen ones, most of the time, is going to be someone that came from a family that went through hell. They've gone through some shit in their life. You know, we all go through some shit, but there's some people like Starlight, we go through a whole lot more. And I used to think long time ago, woe is me, look at all the crap I've gone through, woe is me. Feel, you know, I want people to know what I've gone through. You know, I want them to see the struggle that I went through. But I really was asking for help too, you know, it was kind of a, you know, my ego, and I'm reaching out for help. And it was very hard to even find any help. Nobody could help me. Isn't that sad? You know, I reached out to a lot of people and said, oh my, I can't believe this happened, that happened, this happened. And, you know, and I mean, like, you know, even where my therapist was playing head games with me, like trying to purposely trigger me, So, you got to really be careful out there. You might tell people some of the horrible shit you've gone through, and not everybody, everybody's going to believe what you say, because there are people out there, I meet them, and I've been at like different hospitals, and I met where there's people that they make up stories. So a chosen one is somebody that's gone through hell. They have gone through some freaking shit. And you might be that person thinking, what the blank is wrong with me? And I used to think this, my brother used to look at me like, why are these men drawn to you all the time? You got so much to offer a man. It's kind of crazy that all my brothers, every single one of my brothers, whether they're a whole blood brother, a half brother, or step brother, they all see me like a good selection for, like, not that they're gonna go out with their sister, but like, wow, we would like to find a girl like you, Starlight, because we see all these good qualities, about who you are. And that was my old version of myself. Oh man, they couldn't even handle who I am today, because I've done a lot of work. I am doing a lot of work every day on myself. So chosen ones, have gone through shit. And so being said, that is that more than likely you were the black sheep of your family, that you could have been the target in the family. Everybody's treating you like shit in the family. You might have been abused a lot by your family members, your brothers, your sisters, or your parents, or, all kinds of relatives, or people of the, people that would come to your house. Maybe they've done stuff to you. Maybe in school it was a nightmare like it was for me. Relationships. I'll tell you what, yeah, you could have, like, what the heck, but I'll tell you what, no matter what, they're all your teachers. I just was helping a man yesterday, and as I am doing my full-time job here. God gives me messages, tells me what I need to do. The universe guides me and helps me. The archangels are here. I used to, have a hard time with that. The archangels are here, helping us and guiding us. But many churches don't want you to even, they've been lied to, and deceived, or they've been programmed to be and say what they say and what they believe, taking the truth out. So you got to really be careful what you were told by the church, what you were told by your family, and I just had a man that I talked to yesterday, which I am on full service with the universe, with God, so people come my way and they need help. There's no accident that this man came to me. It's like I've been spoon feeding him, helping him out with different information, feeling him out, seeing where he is and what he believes, and seeing, and I've had great conversations with him. He's like, he wants answers. But a lot of times people don't know where to get the answers, and that's what light workers are here. We're here to guide people and help them. And yeah, you've gone through hell. If you're a chosen one, yeah, I understand. You've gone through hell. And my whole life I didn't understand it. I always wanted to help people out. I've been like that my whole life. I used to go to church, and when I was in church, I was involved in everything in church, trying to win kids to get them to go to church, because somebody did that when I was little. My family did not believe in God. They still don't believe in God. So I had a family that came to my family's house. My dad did not like religious people. I'll tell you what, when you knocked on our door, you better not force anything, and that, you better be really kind, because my dad would only put up with so much, and he would tell you right where the door is, So my dad did not put up with religious people knocking on the door, but I am grateful because a family was able to come in. They were not forceful. They were not, forcing their way to come in. They were just trying to reach out and trying to see if any families had any children, so they can come to church, and they would come and pick, the children up, and drop them off. And I'm so grateful because my dad actually let me do that, even though he didn't believe in God. He wasn't that kind of dad that's like, hey, I don't believe in God, and no, you're absolutely not going to church, because many children go through that. It is really important to let your kids decide this on their own as far as where they want to go in life. We're here to guide them as parents, but they got to figure it out. If you don't believe in God, it doesn't mean that you're right at what you believe, because a lot of people have been tripped up, they've been deceived, they've been lied to. We all been lied to, but chosen ones will go through hell. They will go through suffering and pain. They will go through sexual abuse, psychological abuse, physical abuse, all kinds of abuse growing up. Now, they might have not have gone through that, but relationships, there's something that they have gone through hell with. But kind of crazy is the way I look at it now is the ones that are running the world, even though it's not, it is people that are being, used. They're just puppets. So I don't want to give a whole lot of credit to these people, because they're just puppets anyway. But those are the ones that are running the world. And so many times we go through hell, and there's people that have been helping us to, get drawn into the wrong kind of relationships, where we're kind of, I am not a person to go for this. I don't like getting set up by other people, hey, you know what? Here, I want you to meet this man. I'll tell you what, that happened when I was really young. Somebody actually introduced me to this man, and I trusted him. I trusted this person that was setting me up with this person. You know what? Everything happens for a reason. No matter what. It was a lesson for me to learn. They didn't, that was, they didn't really know what the blank they were even, That's why you gotta figure that out on your own. You gotta be careful. People will set you up with people that were never right for you. They weren't good for you from the beginning. They could have been really abusive. So you gotta really be really mindful is to, figure that out on your own, because there's people out there, they're being like a puppet and telling you, oh yeah, go with this guy, Sometimes good things come out of bad relationships. So even though I know my life has been hell all the way through until, lately, because I've been working on myself. Now I'm getting answers. Now things are making sense. Now I understand things. Now I look at things totally different. So light workers have gone through shit. And, but the people that are running this world, they try to kill me. They try to destroy me. But you know what? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. They screwed up. They tried so hard to kill me and try to set me up with the wrong kind of people, and everything kind of, we create our reality by the choices that we make and the things that we think. Your thoughts are very powerful. Your words are very powerful. How you react and respond is really important. And I had to learn the hard way, like all of us do. Getting with the wrong people for the wrong reasons, but those are lessons. So everything that I've gone through actually has gotten me stronger. And now I have tools now. They didn't kill me. Even when I was in my mother's womb, my parents tried to kill me right in the beginning, of my life. They didn't want Starlight. After they got done having my brother, they're like, my dad, we don't want no more children. So I was being attacked at the very starting of my life because, you know what? I was born in a family that did not believe in God. Isn't that something? I don't believe in killing babies, not at all. But I do believe that we do have a free will. Because we will learn you know, so there are people out there. I believe that people ought to be responsible when they're having babies, though. It's not right for people to go and kill babies when they were not being responsible with protecting themselves so they didn't get pregnant in the first place. Not all cases, you know, there's people with rape and incest, that's totally different. But Starlight just wants to bounce on this a little bit because I just seen something the other day on a bus. But they try to kill you. They try to destroy you. But you survived. You made it. That just shows how strong you are. You know, I'm out here, actually, it's kind of funny, as I had a plant that I found at a Lowe's parking lot, and I'm just going to actually walk over here and show you it. I actually plant right here where it's all dug up and there's a stream of water. And I'm learning, you know, a lot of times when I take advice, people, I'd have to say 85% of the time I should never have taken any advice from some people. But I try to plant that plant. I found a plant at Lowe's, and the outside was in a black bag, and I'm like, ooh, what's in that black bag? Sorry about this noise again. And so I opened up the black bag that was in the cart, in the shopping cart, and it was a plant, you know, and it's a beautiful bush. So Starlight decided, I'm gonna save that plant, because if it just sat in that bag, it would have died, you know. And I love saving anything and anyone, you know, that I can, animals, you know, plants or whatever. Bugs I'm not crazy about, like mosquitoes or flies. But so I planted it in this spot. But when the full moon came, this whole place, I'll tell you what, from here all the way to the water, this got filled with water, because I realized it's in the stream of water. I just realized this a couple of days ago. It's blocked where the water cannot flow through, and so that's what forces the water to actually, I want to see if I can fix that and clear it up, so then the water will actually come down here instead of coming up through here and flooding this whole place. And that's what happened. And so I had this plant here. I actually had two of them, and one got lost. It got pulled right out of the ground, and it got took down the stream of water here. I try to look for it. I mean, I spent a long time walking out here barefoot, climbing in the water, trying to find that plant, and I couldn't find it because I had it planted right here in this spot. I had two of those plants that I found in that bag. And so now Starlight decided, well, I talked to a person. I said, oh my, yeah, I'm thinking about moving that plant. And she told me, she's like, oh, you know, this never got flooded. This has been like, you know, like centuries since this ever got flooded like that, you know, and it was during a full moon. And so she made me think, you know, because I never seen it get like that out here since I've been out here. So I decided, you know, I'm just going to replant it in that same spot. And, you know, and then we only had like a little bit of rain, and boom, it washed it all out and almost destroyed this plant. So Starlight, right here, this beautiful plant, and look at it, it's still, I'll tell you what, I'm telling this plant, this is going to be beautiful flowers on this, and they're big, it's going to be a big bush, and it's got to have part sun and part shade. But I planted this here, and this is the reason why I'm telling you about this plant, because this is like what light workers are about. This plant went through so much hell. They tried to, you know, I don't know why, but they put it in a bag at the store. The whole rooting system was dry, but the leaves were nice and green like you see. And I just replanted this right here because the water didn't get up to this level here. I mean, there might have been a little bit of water, but it's not going to go like and get it washed out. So I'm saying that about that plant because that's what light workers are about. Light workers and chosen ones. So many are called, but few are chosen. Is that people will try to destroy your ass. You know, like my parents tried to destroy me. Like this plant out here, they took it, they didn't, they didn't care for it, they didn't try to make it, to save its life or anything like that. They just were going to stick it in the bag and, sorry about that, and just let it die. Here I live in my car and I'm like, nah. I'm like, I don't know why I'm picking up this plant and taking this bag with me. Somebody would have just thrown that right in the trash, and not thinking it. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to save that plant. So chosen ones, they go through some shit, I'll tell you. And I have a doctor right now that actually, he's quite impressed. He knows how many times I've been in a psych hospital, and now he's working at this one special hospital out in the area. So they wanted to talk to Starlight, see if she needs any medication. Starlight doesn't need any medications. But he is so impressed because I am doing amazing. He's seen me before when I had to take medication. And so he's totally like, wow, I am so impressed, because of who I was 3 years ago. Who I was, not even just 3 years ago, but who I was and where I came from. What did I go through from like 2000, my whole entire life. Added on to 2016, bam, bam, bam. Starlight was in and out of the psych hospitals, losing, kept on going in hospitals, out of hospitals, back in the hospitals, out of hospital. My daughter was going through the same shit, the same time, back and forth. If I wasn't in, she was in, and so my doctor's so impressed, like even my therapist, like you're supposed to be like all of our other patients, like doing drugs and alcohol and, crying in here, but you're not. How the fuck did you do that, Starlight? I didn't do this on my own. Chosen ones, they got a connection, when they really start working on themselves, they have a connection with God, the universe, and I've been being guided, and I'm so grateful for my mentor because I didn't do this on my own. I did this with lots of help. And there's a lot of people that's on my YouTube channel, they have been there helping me out. So chosen ones are super strong. They could go through a lot of hell in their reality, in their life, where other people think that they're just gonna, just stay the way they are. But just like that plant, that plant has gone through some shit. That flood came right through this. The one it just took right away, in that water. I searched for that plant. I'm still not giving up on finding that plant. But that plant is like me. It's gone through fucking hell. But it's strong. I actually brought that plant down here to put it in the water one night because it was so dehydrated from being in that black bag out in the sun, out in the grocery cart. Nobody gave two shits. There's a lot of parents out there, they don't give two shits about their kids, wanting to throw them out in the garbage, But this plant had, during the full moon, that water just came right through here and threw it somewhere, and I found it. And I'm like, ah, you poor plant. So I redug it up, put it back into the same spot because it was late. And I took advice from some lady out here. Says, oh yeah, that's, I wanted to have stairs out here. I realized I can't fix this until I unclog the stream of the water first. Then I can do my stairs. It would make no sense to put stairs here and just have, a rainy day and it just would wash away again. So now I'm smartening up. I'm like, yeah, I gotta actually I gotta move that stuff out of the stream so then the water can flow through and it will come back up here and take everything away. So, but light workers and chosen ones, man, they go through some shit and they're here to help people through these times right now, to help you to understand what you're going to be going through and what to expect on this, the end times right here, the spiritual warfare that we're going through, that we've been going through. So light workers and chosen ones are here to help the planet, help the people, but not everyone wants that. There's people that do. They want to destroy this world. They want to destroy Mother Earth. And you can tell because the way they're polluting the land and the water and all this stuff and what they're doing to the animals. So you could be a chosen one. Many are called, but few are chosen. It might really explain why your life has been the way it has been and why you seem somehow or another to get through all kinds of stuff. And, people see your struggle and they know it's real. They see you down and out, but then you get right back up like this plant. This plant is still thriving. It wants to live. There's something about that plant that, it survived that flood out here. This was the biggest flood that they've had out in this area for a long freaking time. And so, that plant is just like a chosen one. It's strong. You can knock it down. You can do all kinds of shit. It's kind of, it bounces back up somehow or another. That plant, I pulled it out of the ground today. I'm like, wow, I got to rinse you off with water and dig another hole for you. This time, Starlight's moving you. You've gone through a lot. And I'm waiting for that. It's going to, of course, take years for that baby to start getting flowers on it. But, it's a strong plant. I'm so proud of that plant. But that's what a chosen one is like. They are strong. They go through all kinds of hell on planet Earth and with people, relationships, their families. But they keep their, they have to change darkness into light. Forgive those people, keep their hearts right with people. And this is what I'm here to do, is to teach other people that we don't have to be like those people out there that hate people and want to pay back people and revengeful, and we don't need to be like that. How are we going to make a change in the world if we're acting like those people, like arguing, with people and fighting with people? We got to do better than that. We got to, be that example and shine the light on other people's lives. I mean, I get a lot of people, they are shocked. They're like, wow, look at you, How are you looking so good in your situation where you are, Starlight? How do you keep yourself clean? How do you, boy, you look athletic. I just had somebody say that the other day. Wow, you look freaking amazing. You're homeless? Starlight, how is that possible? I'll tell you what, it isn't fucking easy. But God gives me the strength every day. You can ask for the strength. Please give me the strength. So chosen ones, not everybody's a fan of the chosen ones. There's people out there that have been trying to destroy them and try to kill them because they know they are powerful. So anyway, you could be one of the chosen ones. Let me know down below this video. Do you think that you're one of the chosen ones? Because you could be. If you're a black sheep of the family and you've gone through hell and you're like, how am I doing this? You gotta, I'll tell you what, give yourself a pat on the back. You deserve it. Yay! Woohoo! For all those chosen ones out there. You were stronger than what you're going through and you got what it takes. So not everyone's, many are called, but few are chosen. Not everyone makes it, though. Only this, the ones that God has called are the ones that are going to make it, because they have a job here to do. And so Starlight loves you so much. This is Starlight, and namaste. This is Starlight, love, light, and peace.